Good morning. Okay. Very excited for, not excited for Jerusalem, but it's a bad day for Jerusalem. Anyway, August 28th, 2024, commentary, Fall of Jerusalem. The end has finally come, plagued by famine, drought, and pestilence from within, and besieged by the Babylonian hordes from without. The city of David finally falls. The historical record is mercifully brief in its account, as if the shame of it all forbids greater mention. The essential details are these. The wall is breached in the 4th month of 586 BC, when Zedekiah and his troops flee the city by night. They are quickly captured. A month later, the glorious Temple of Solomon and the royal palace are razed. The remaining noblemen are killed, and temple treasures are taken as booty. And over a period of 4 years, hundreds of people are taken captive and deported to Babylon. With the fall now an undeniable reality, the final chapter of the glorious era of Israel comes to a close, and the prophets of God are regrettably vindicated. Ezekiel, in particular, is proved correct as to the final fate of Zedekiah and the exact manner in which it happens. Okay, so we're back in 2 Kings 25, verse 2, Jeremiah 39, verse 2, and Jeremiah 52, verse 5, 586 BC in Jerusalem. So it's weird how it kind of clumps them all together, but anyway, by the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine in the city had become so severe that there was no food for the people to eat. And on the 9th day of the 4th month of Zedekiah's 11th year, the city wall was broken through. Then all the officials of the king of Babylon came and took seats in the middle gate. Nergal-Sharezer of Samgar, Nebo-Sarsekim, the chief officer, Nergal-Sharezer, a high official, and all the other officials of the king of Babylon. When Zedekiah, king of Judah, and all the soldiers saw them, they fled. They left the city at night by way of the king's garden, through the gate between the two walls, and headed toward the Arabah. But the Babylonian army pursued them and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho. He was taken to the king of Babylon at Riblah in the land of Hamath, where he pronounced sentence on him. There at Riblah, the king of Babylon slaughtered the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes. He also killed all the officials of Judah. Then he put out Zedekiah's eyes, bound him with bronze shackles, and took him to Babylon, where he put him in prison till the day of his death. He brought up against them the king of the Babylonians, who killed their young men with the sword in the sanctuary, and spared neither young man nor young woman, old man or aged. God handed all of them over to Nebuchadnezzar. On the 10th day of the 5th month, in the 19th year of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, commander of the imperial guard who served the king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem. He set fire to the temple of the Lord, the royal palace, and all the houses of Jerusalem. Every important building he burned down. Okay, I was just looking at the year. It's still 586 BC. The whole Babylonian army, under the commander of the imperial guard, broke down all the walls around Jerusalem. The commander of the guard took as prisoners Seraiah, the chief priest, Zephaniah, the priest next in rank, and the 3 doorkeepers. Of those still in the city, he took the officer in charge of the fighting men and 7 royal advisors. He also took the secretary, who was chief officer in charge of conscripting the people of the land, and 60 of his men who were found in the city. Nebuzaradan, the commander, took them all and brought them to the king of Babylon at Riblah. There, at Riblah, in the land of Hamath, the king had them executed. The Babylonians broke up the bronze pillars, the movable stands, and the bronze sea that were at the temple of the Lord, and they carried all the bronze to Babylon. They also took away the pots, shovels, wick trimmers, sprinkling bowls, dishes, and all the bronze articles used in the temple service. The commander of the imperial guard took away the basins, censers, sprinkling bowls, pots, lampstands, dishes, and bowls used for drink offerings, all that were made of pure gold or silver. The bronze from the 2 pillars, the sea, and the 12 bronze bowls under it, and the movable stands, which King Solomon had made for the temple of the Lord, was more than could be weighed. Each of the pillars was 18 cubits high, and 12 cubits in circumference. Each was 4 fingers thick and hollow. The bronze capital on top of the one pillar was 5 cubits high, and was decorated with a network and pomegranates of bronze all around. The other pillar, with its pomegranates, was similar. There were 96 pomegranates on the sides. The total number of the pomegranates above the surrounding network was 100. Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guard, carried into exile some of the poorest people and those who remained in the city, along with the rest of the craftsmen and those who had gone over to the king of Babylon. But Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guard, left behind in the land of Judah some of the poor people who owned nothing, and at that time he gave them vineyards and fields. So Judah went into captivity away from her land. This is the number of the people Nebuchadnezzar carried into exile. In the 7th year, 3,023 Jews. In Nebuchadnezzar's 18th year, 832 people from Jerusalem. In his 23rd year, 745 Jews taken into exile by Nebuzaradan, the commander of the imperial guard. There were 4,600 people in all. He carried into exile to Babylon the remnant who escaped from the sword, and they became servants to him and his sons until the kingdom of Persia came to power. The land enjoyed its Sabbath rests. All the time of its desolation it rested until the 70 years were completed in fulfillment of the word of the Lord spoken by Jeremiah. Okay. All right, moving on. Sorry. We have another commentary. I just wanted to make sure we're on the... Okay. Gedaliah and Jeremiah. While the city that Jeremiah had tried to save was being destroyed, and the people to whom he had preached God's words of warning were being killed or taken away captive, God reassured Jeremiah that he would be saved. Working through Nebuchadnezzar and his officers, God now fulfills his promise. Jeremiah's future is about to cross paths with a man named Gedaliah, whom Nebuchadnezzar appoints as governor over the people left behind. 2 Kings 25:22, 586 BC. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, appointed Gedaliah, son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, to be over the people he had left behind in Judah. While Jeremiah had been confined in the courtyard of the guard, the word of the Lord came to him. Go and tell Ebed-melech the Cushite, this is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. I am about to fulfill my words against this city through disaster, not prosperity. At that time they will be fulfilled before your eyes. But I will rescue you on that day, declares the Lord. You will not be handed over to those you fear. I will save you. You will not fall by the sword, but will escape with your life, because you trust in me, declares the Lord. Now Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had given these orders about Jeremiah through Nebuzaradan, commander of the imperial guard. Take him and look after him. Don't harm him, but do for him whatever he asks. So Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guard, Nebuchadnezzar, a chief officer, Nergal-Sharezer, a high officer, and all the courtyard of the guard, and all the other officers of the king of Babylon sent and had Jeremiah taken out of the courtyard of the guard. They turned him over to Gedaliah, son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, to take him back to his home. So he remained among his own people. The word of the Lord came to Jeremiah from the Lord. I'm a little tongue-tied today. Okay, the word came to Jeremiah from the Lord after Nebuzaradan, commander of the imperial guard, had released him at Ramah. He had found Jeremiah bound in chains among all the captives from Jerusalem and Judah who were being carried into exile to Babylon. When the commander of the guard found Jeremiah, he said to him, "The Lord your God decreed this disaster for his place, and now the Lord has brought it about. He has done just as he said he would. All this happened because you people sinned against the Lord and did not obey him. But today I am freeing you from the chains on your wrists. Come with me to Babylon if you like, and I will look after you. But if you do not want to, then don't come. Look, the whole country lies before you. Go wherever you please." However, before Jeremiah turned to go, Nebuzaradan added, "Go back to Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, whom the king of Babylon has appointed over the towns of Judah, and live with him among the people, or go anywhere else you please." Then the commander gave him provisions and a present and let him go. So Jeremiah went to Gedaliah, son of Ahikam, at Mitzpah, and stayed with him among the people who were left behind in the land. Okay, that's it. Made it. That's it for today. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.